Here, Harry Mantle. You have this here from back in the days. You had that, and then you had these type of things which were rough garments. This thing too. For example, when you wear this, all of a sudden you turn kind of rough. You know, back in the days when I was younger, I always wanted a jacket like this because it looked beautiful. It looked dope seeing it like that, right? But then I got one many years later, maybe 20 years later, maybe 25 years later even. Because, you know, I just liked it. I never bought it actually. And by the way, when I looked at it, I was too young. I didn't have money for that. But then, you know, years later, I think 25 years later or something like that, I saw one very cheap, so I bought it. I never wore it because I wore it like 2-3 times. It still looks very new. It looked brand new actually, because I wore it only like 2 times or something like that. Because when I was on the street, everybody looking at me. I know there's more people looking at me when I got that thing on compared to when I had my normal clothing. And I don't like that. So, you know, it attracts bitches. No, I'm just joking around. It just attracts different type of people. It attracts different type of people, you know. To me, I look too fancy. I just look too fancy. So, when another person has it on, I actually like seeing it. But I myself, I don't want to wear it. Like I said, I have this, but I have a brown one. I couldn't find the black one. It was on sale, so I think it was already gone or something like that. But I found the brown one. It's kind of the same, you know, but still this type. The point is, it looks rough. It looked like you're rough, but fancy at the same time. Now the prophets, they were like this because they were used to sleeping like this. It looks rough. It doesn't look like it's some kind of sissy type of clothing and all that type of stuff. It looks like, you know, a troubled I don't know how to say it. It just doesn't look like it's fancy unless you start making it as to where it is now. Wait, how it is kind of now. Like back in the days, it used to be like this. It's also still rough. But then they started freshening it up, and then cutting it better and making it better. And then before you know it, it started to look like, what just happened? It started to look like this. And like this and all that type of stuff. So now it's cut better, but back in the days it was very rough. Now this is associated with women. Look at them. It's all combed and all that, but back in the days it used to look really rough. You know, manly. And that's how the prophets used to walk around, with the ram's skin and camel's skin and goat. You could say goat too, but yeah, lamb and all that there, you know. I just lost a picture of that movie. Oh, this guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this one. It looks very rough. And he sleeps on it. He sleeps in it too. So it must have not been smelling that great. You know, because you sweat within it. And then, you know, it evaporates within the clothing. And then the clothing starts smelling like your sweat, even if you take it off. Alright, so yeah, going back to over here. So they had rough garments, and the false prophets, they used to wear these rough type of clothing in order to fool people, like, oh, this must be one of the prophets because look at his clothing. You know, for example, going on Zechariah 13:5. If you see a girl dressed like a prostitute back in the 90s and stuff like that, you would know it's a hoe. Nowadays, you go outside, you don't know which one is the hoe that actually gets paid for money for sex because they dress the same way as the prostitutes used to do in the 90s and before that. With the tattoos also, the females with tattoos, okay, that's a hoe, because they got tattoos a lot of times. And nowadays you don't know, but a lot of them nowadays also are on OnlyFans, which is a prostitute's dream. She doesn't have to deal with the physical pimp. They got the digital pimp, the one that is taking your money from you on his platform. To host you need to pay him a certain fee. Anyway, going on. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am a husbandman. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, where are these wounds in thy hand? What are these wounds in thy hand? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Anyway, they're going to deny. But nowadays, the false prophets and the false teachers, what do? They don't have to wear rough clothing in order to deceive others. They actually do this. Matthew 11:8. But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. And that's what these false prophets are wearing nowadays. Beautiful clothing. Well, it's not beautiful to everybody, but I mean, fancy clothing. And if you are of the world, you will look at it like, wow, they're all in order. They got the same thing. They got the same color. For example, the IUIC, they got all the same color, purple. And then you got the ISUPK, they got the warrior bandanas and stuff like that, So people look at it and they're impressed. But the regular prophets, they just have regular things going on, And a lot of times, actually all the times, the prophet actually made their own clothing. So it didn't look all fancy. It looked like these type of things. Hairy, Am I looking for... Sorry. This one. It looked like this and stuff like that, but then stitched together. Because this is not really going to keep you warm, maybe in the autumn or something like that. But not in the winter time. So they would stitch all this together. Some might have women that helped them or something like that, So I'm not saying that they never did. But they would look very rough. And then, of course, back in the days, you couldn't just buy this in the store. You had to go out there and kill your own animal. Or somebody else killed animals and then you bought it from them and stuff like that. It's like how it goes now. But nowadays, you had people going into the woods, killing the animals, and then skinning them and doing all the process work and stuff like that. That's why they charge you $600-700 for a so-called jacket like this, 1,000 something, because you didn't do it yourself, right? That's why these type of jackets cost like what, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700 euros and stuff like that. Yeah, anyway, going back over here, which is let me see. So John the Baptist, he had a raiment of camel's hair. And then you still might say, like, wait a minute, but it doesn't say that he had a raiment. It says he was a hairy man. I'll get to that. Wait, let me go here. First Kings chapter 1 verse 8, when it says that he was a hairy man, right? He was a hairy man, right? So Hebrew 81:81. Hebrew 81:81. So it says here. Shaira. So it says Shair. Yeah, Shair. So you spell it like this. Well, you write it like this, but you spell it like this. This one. Shair. So it says here, hair of animals, comma man, hair of garment made of hair, which is animal hair, and that is what it was. It's garment made from animal hair because the prophet was wearing a hairy garment, because it shows you right here. Denise's lexicon help. It helps you. It says here, that is. So I didn't know what this thing meant back in the days. I.e. it was some kind of bullshit language, but anyway, it means, in other words, I also read that it means, for example, yeah, here, this is what I knew about it. This is what I know of it. It means, for example, why people say ei of ie, sorry, for example, yeah, it est, it's bullshit. That is, het is, it is, it is, it est, ids, whatever. So it says right here, that is. So it says here, a rough hairy man, that is, wearing a hairy mantle. That's what it is. This is it. So when it says that he was a hairy man, it means that he had a hairy mantle on, and that mantle was, as for an example, just like, you know, he had a rough garment, but the false prophets, they also wear rough garments in order to deceive, because they knew that the true prophets, they do wear rough garments. John the Baptist's camel hair garment, and you know, these people that wear soft clothing, they're in mansions and stuff like that, and that's where you see these false prophets nowadays. They're in these mega churches dressing to the T with I think it's ugly type of clothing, but to the people of the world, they love men in suits. They think success, prosperity, and all these type of things. I just look at you like a fool, but hey, not everybody's favorite color is green or something, you know? So everybody has his own opinion and own taste. So I just never liked that. I never liked suits. It looks stupid to me. Okay, so this is Shair. And then if you go to the other word, seer, which is Hebrew 8150 and the 65, Hebrew 8165, it says Sha'iyar. So you spell it like this, Sha'iyar or Sha'i. So Sha'iyara, but then you say it like, well, you write it like this, Sha'iyar. But that means hairy and or shaggy. Sorry. And this is the man named Seir that the region was named after, which is Mount Seir. But it added a little word with it and stuff like that. So that is the hairy part, you could say. And then, for example, you have as an example for that, because Esau. Wait, I think I didn't read it. No. Think it's here. Okay. Genesis 25, and I'll just go to the point. Genesis 25 and 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And why was he red like an hairy garment? Because Exodus 25 and 5, and ram's skin dyed red, and badger's skin, and shittim wood. So when you read the word badger skin, by the way, when you read the word badger skin, it's not talking about the animal that is a badger, like this one. Because first and foremost, these things was not in that region at that time, and until this day they're still not there. But the badger, it's talking about this. So if you look up the word badger, which is Hebrew 8477, I'm thinking of something else, that's why. 8476. Okay, Hebrew 8476. Then they say it is kind of a leather skin that an animal hide. Yeah, that's what it is. But they say perhaps the badger or dugong, whatever the hell that is. I'm sorry. I know what it is because I looked it up. It's some kind of sea mammal thing. So-called mammal. It's just, yeah, whatever. So, but it's a marine thing. Animal thing. But I don't know how you pronounce it. Dugong. That's what I actually meant when I say whatever it is. Yeah, that's what I mean. They just named it. I hate that name. I think it's stupid, and I don't know how you pronounce it, so I don't know. And of course, dolphin, which yeah, I don't need to pull up. But these two animals are unclean. They're unclean animals for to eat. So the Heavenly Father would never use this in holy rituals, because, for example, the tabernacle tent, it is said to be spread over with here. Here. It is said to be spread over with, they say, sea cow. That's the thing that it just showed you. The mannequin thing, the whatever it's called, manatee. That sea cow thing that I just showed you, that I said is a weird word. It's a weird word. I don't know. Okay, that thing. That's not what it is. These are, because this is an unclean animal, yeah, and it would not be used for the holy things. So, what is it? It's definitely not this, and I know what it is. So when you read this word here, it says thachash. So tha sha, and then you would write it like this, thachash. Tachash, tachaash or tachash. It, you know, tomato. So tachaash or tachash. That's how you would write it. And then you look at this word here. It says tachash, tachashkin, right? Now, if you look up an animal of the tachash, you would come to this. Wait, sorry. Oh no, I think I put it here. So, if you type in here, badgers, antelope, animal, Bible. I know I spelled antelope wrong, but yeah, I still found it because I know that it exists. That's why. And then, because nowadays Google is still a little bit good, because they're gonna make sure that you can't find these things anymore, and they're busy with it. I've seen it myself, man. It's a lot of things I can't find no more, just like that. For example, this video. It was very hard for me to find this, and I remember this video because it was like 14 years ago, and even that, I still remember this video, man. Look.
Just in case you missed it, here's
But it was hard to find.
From the last live broadcast of the weekly news. Stupid hippie gets naked in a horse.
It's not a hippie, it's just a white woman, because most of the time these hippies don't hurt animals because they're very loving and stupid stuff like that. Well, not stupid, but yeah, they're loving and stuff like that. Not all of them, but I never heard of hippies that really hurt animals. It's just a white woman, and she just wanna slap the hippie up on it, but then whatever.
21-year-old Jazz?
He's just an Edomite.
Jash Lawton.
Look at what they're doing. They bought, well,
killed and climbed into the body cavity of a dead horse. According to a police report, Lawton and her friend John Frost, had purchased a 32-year-old horse outside of Seattle in Washington. Soon after they bought it, Frost shot it in the head. It's a tongue twister. Frost shot it in the head with a hunting rifle, and then the two skinned it, and then they gutted it, and then she got in it and did a little photo shoot.
Naked.
Here's pictures. Oh, there they are. It's gross. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, is there a point?
You just listen to these people. We are not the same, man. I have more gruesome things to say about this shit, but look, hey, man, we're not the same, man. We're not the same. Look, you know? Hey, let me just play it, man.
Point? Are they making?
The point is art, asshole.
The point.
Oh,
What
the
is
point
the
is
point?
art? Then fuck that.
So if it was something else, she would be okay with it. This just shows you what type of mindset these people have, man. You know? Ain't nobody saying nothing racist. Of course not. Why would they? If it was so-called black people, what do you think that they would be saying right about them, man?
I hate that when people are like, you know what, I'll kill an animal, I'll get inside of it, and if you're disgusted by the photos, that's what...
And then other people here, they're not disgusted. They're saying dumb shit like, well, I saw a devil. Here, if you are abandoned and lost in the forest and kill you a deer, and you kill a deer and sleep in it, who the fuck does this? Who does that shit, man? Hey, anyway, in it will keep you warm. Where did he get this shit from, man? And give you food to eat too. Raw food? Hey, listen, man. We are not the same, man. It's called what? It's called a nutcase, man. Bitch, man, let me not say too much. But she didn't need to do whatever, though. Whatever. The horse was old, and at least they killed it. See these caucus answers and stuff like that. This is some crazy shit, man. And when a Jacob descendant is eating chicken, boy, if you see them comments, boy, you think they murdered their mama, you know? You think they murdered their mother, or whatever. Anyway, the hatred that you see, that's what I'm saying. The hate you see. But I already know about that. But still, they are not in trouble. The wicked is not in trouble like other men. But it's hard to find these type of videos. And I was looking for it, and I stumbled because I remembered it. And then I looked, and it was kind of hard to find, actually. But I found it. But anyway, so going back to here, let me see. Okay, his garment and oh yeah, this one. Sorry. Here. So I found it here. Okay, so it says here the Tahai Z. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's Antelope barbata, and it is from that region. So let me just read here a few things that I colored in. Since the badger is now found in southern Asia and has not yet as what and has not as yet been noticed out of Europe, because they say in the blue letter Bible, the dictionary thing, they say it's this animal or this a seal. They also say it is a seal, but not there, somewhere else. But it's this, because it's spelled the same way in the English. And these were the animals that were known to be in that region over there in Israel and stuff like that. They were known to be there. So they're not extinct, but they're kind of not there anymore. That place that they used to be in abundance. But other Edomites, they say it was a weasel, but that's when you believe the synagogue of Satan. If you believe them, then it is a weasel. Then they have another word, they have another saying, which is the wolf, which is also bullshit. But this word, tachash. Anyway, that's the animal. So even here it says that the sea cow or something, the sea cow is an unclean animal, and therefore it would not have been used in the Bible to do sacred coverings and stuff like that. So even he knows. You have to understand this, okay? The children of this world, which are the children of darkness, are wiser than the children of light. You have to understand also, Edomites know that we are Israelites before Israelites knew that we were Israelites. They know. They have the records. And not only the records, they have it's the history, but I mean, like, they have the history and they have the records, like paper that you can read and stuff like that. But they have the history also, the history of events. They have it. Okay? And they know more than our people that we are the Israelites. They know that we are the Israelites. That's even the morons, the book of morons, they teach that the Native Americans are the lost tribe of the children of Israel. One of the lost tribes of Jacob, one of the lost tribes of Israel. They know. But they're snake-tongued liars. So they only are going to give lies with truths in the midst of it. You're not gonna get the full truth from them. Why would they do that? Think about it, man. It's their own destruction. Why would they do that? Not gonna do that, man. Come on, man. We have to get it. It's like a game. If the game is too easy, you don't want to buy the game. But if the game is too hard, you don't like it either. It has to be just right. But yeah, only to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you're going to find that game of life, man. It's not too hard, but it's not too easy. Certain things are easy, certain things are hard. And the too hard things, you don't search them out. If the Heavenly Father decides to give you in a dream, then keep it to yourself. Nick. Why are you going to talk to them for? You know? Just keep it to yourself, man. You know? Don't try to force who is who in the reincarnation on nobody else, because that's just being stupid. You can show reincarnation scriptures with the proof thereof. Elijah. You can show a few others, but Elijah is like the main one, and John is like really good. You know what I'm saying? You have other scriptures of Yahweh Shai, King Solomon, but that goes with explanations and stuff like that. And then you have others that you should just keep for yourself, man. If you think you know. But what are you gonna hate on another? The Most High didn't open his mind for him to be able to see that. So why are you angry at him? You need to be angry at the Most High then. I don't advise you to do that. But yeah, this is the word badger, which they changed. And you might be like, well, I'm adding to the scriptures. You just making stuff up, man. Okay, so it says right here. So it shows you right here. Wait. Okay. This is the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 21. And the powers created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And the power saw that the power saw that it was good. What did you get out of this? Nothing. Because, yeah, you did see it because it's red. But what did you get out? You don't really understand. So when you look up the Hebrew word for this one, Hebrew 8577, what does it say? It says dragon, sea monster, dragon, or dinosaur. Serpent, venomous snake. It's just a serpent, because a snake is a serpent. A snake is a dragon. It's a dragon. They call it snake, but it's a dragon. What does it say then? The powers created great dragons. That's what it says in the Hebrew. And you have other websites, for example, dragons in the Bible were removed. I did a video about this many years ago. So they changed this. They made it, this is the true thing, but they made it as if it was a, here, they said, tail moves like a da-da-da-da-da, and they changed that word. I forgot into what they changed it. I think it's going to say lower here. If I scroll down, it's going to say here. So the poisons of dragons, you see? Because a snake is a dragon. But you had so-called dinosaurs. There was also venomous. But that's another story. It's a reptile. So it's, Nehemiah 2 and Job. Here it says, I am a brother to dragons. But then in the New King James translation, it says, I am a brother to jackals. Dragon is changed into jackals. Dragons is changed into sea serpents. So now you're going to think about some kind of... You're not going to think of a dinosaur. You're not going to think of a dragon that is a water creature dragon. Because you have different dragons. You have dragons that fly, which is a pterodactyl. That's a dragon. They just named it pterodactyl, man. It's not a fucking pterodactyl. They just named it after some Caucasus person. Whatever, man. So you have dragons here changed into a serpent. Because that is what it is. A snake is a dragon. And a serpent is a dragon. It depends on what type of serpent it is. You have the ones that crawl. You have the ones that walk. You have the ones that glide. You have these ones that glide in the air. And then you have the flying ones, which are these ones. These are flying dragons. It's just dragon, man. It's just a dragon. You have others here. Yeah, Spitfire and Acid. Spitfire, Venom, Acid. This one, because it has something in his head to wherewith he will be able to spit fire. And not only this one on land can do it. You had the one in the book of Job, chapter 40, which is Leviathan. He also spits fire. But he's so powerful, he spits fire underwater. Whew, boy! That's crazy. But he can also come on land. Because it shows you that he was walking on land in that chapter. You know? It shows you that here. I went over it already, so I'm gonna glance over it. So it says here, it says knives. Where is it again? No, this is not the one. This is it. It says stone, something like that. Here, Job chapter 41, verse 30. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. So what is mire? Mire is mud. It's mud. Here, let me see. You're stuck in the mud. It's mud. It's mud. It's just mud. Okay. So now we know it's mud, right? Okay. Footprints. Here, footprints in the mud. Okay. So what does he do? He spreaded sharp, pointy things in the mud when he walks, so he can walk on land. So he can not only swim, he can walk too. So it's a creature that can walk on earth and he can swim. So it shows you right here. No, I'm gonna show you right here, for example. What does it look like? It looks like sharp, pointy things, which is his nails. So it says right here, sharp stones are under him. He spreaded sharp, pointed things upon them. This is it. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about his nails. That is what Leviathan does. That means he can walk on earth. Yeah. And here it says, he maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. I'll get to that. Verse 32. He maketh a path upon the sea and the deep when he swims. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. So, hoary, what is hoary? Hoary is gray as white. His hoary head is grayish hair. You see the gray? That's hoary. Okay. So, what does it mean? It says, it shows you that he's so fast. Speedboat trail. He's so fast that he can make the water white. That's what it says. It says right here, Leviathan. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot, because he can make it hot. Boil pot water. He can make it hot. This is what he can do. Boy, he's hot. He's very hot. He can spit fire on the water. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. And what is a pot of ointment? This is it. Here. What is this? Witchcraft. Stuff that boils. All these bubbles start popping up and stuff like that. And this is it too. You can cook in it because it was for cooking, but Esau does it for. Meanwhile, in other countries, in reality, they just cook with these pots, man. But people, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. It bubbles up and stuff like that, because this is always associated with witchcraft. But in normal situations, people do this and they cook with it. They put here fire. It's always done for cooking. This is reality. Let me see. Cooking. You have Chinese do it too. The Chinese do it too. So the Africans do it. The Chinese do it too. Here, China. They do it too. Until this day, by the way. They do this. And cauldron pot, China. Yeah, I can't get pictures right now, but they do it. I seen it. This is 1, this is 2. And these are Chinese people in China, still doing it until this day. But it's just, this one is not shaped like it. But like I said, if you just glance around upon the internet, you will find Chinese people cooking with this exact same pot with 3 pots, with 3 legs, sorry. They do it, but it's just a pot. It's just a pot. It has nothing to do with witchcraft, just like the rainbow has nothing to do with sodomites. They associated with it, and therefore people want to stay away from it if they're hetero. So, but anyway, it says, one would think the deep to be hoary. Yeah, because you're gonna look at it like, is the deep gray? No, it's talking about the trail. Here, let me see. Oh, look at it here. This one. He has a trail behind him too. I can't figure. Okay, no. Nah, I can't find it. But you can think for yourself. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's a trail behind him that he can swim. You know. Well, sorry that he can swim. It's a trail behind him that it's a white trail behind him because he swims fast, man. So it's a trail behind him. All these bubbles and stuff like that turn white. So a normal boat does not have that. They didn't have speedboats back in the days, so we couldn't give you images. I could not explain to you if this was back in the days. I couldn't explain to you what I wouldn't know how to do it because I don't know what the speedboats look like. But now I know. And therefore I can associate like, oh, it's a speedboat. That's what it looks like here. It makes the sea hoary. Well, that's a speedboat. So how fast was he? He was fast. He is fast because he's still alive. He's not extinct. He's not extinct. But anyway, enough of this. So these type of dragons were there on land, spitting fire, and Esau knows it. And here, for example, so you have this one with the back head thing, and then you have another one, which is this one. Here, this one, sorry. This one. Here is where the what's that animal? So here you have a compartment, I don't know what you call it, some kind of area that, you know, his butt. It's a compartment, whatever. But it's separated from one another in the middle, right? I think it's like this. Okay, cool. So it's separate from one another. Why the Heavenly Father created it like that. And then here you have some kind of chemical, right? And then here you have another chemical, right? So when these two chemicals get together, boom! It will, and you have to understand, he's small, man. He's small, okay? And how hot is it if you measure it? It must be respected. Can you imagine if this was a 8 to 10 foot dragon, like a dinosaur, right? And then he has that. Ooh, that would hurt you. You melt. You will melt because it says how hot is. Let me see. How hot is he? How hot is that thing? Let me see how hot. It's 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so what is that? That's 212 Fahrenheit. That's what he spits. That little homie that you see right there. That little homie got like 100 degrees Celsius. That would melt you. A human being is only 37 Celsius. Like, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's only 37 Celsius, right? And then this is 100. If that animal was, if that insect was big, and he spit that thing on you, you'd melt. So now you can imagine about the dragon, which is I think I clicked it away. Did I click it away? I think I clicked it away. Did I click it away? Oh yeah. Okay. Here. This is what these devils are. They showing you, but they're, look. This is for the eye, nose, and this is the ear canal. You can see that with lizards. Their ear canal, you can see it. There's a little hole and stuff like that. You can see it here again. You can see it here. But there's this is the nose. But with the other, you have different type of dinosaurs that can spit fire, not just one. This one could spit fire, and the other one with the long thing on the back of his head, and that thing is there in his head, the back of his head. He has that too. So this is anyway. Let me leave this, man. Let me go back over here. Basically, there were more than one fire spitting dragon. I can at least show you this one and the other one that Esau is telling you that that existed. Because some Edomites, they make it their own tongue to fall upon themselves, so they telling the truth, but they're being boycotted by the rest of their race. The ones in charge, the wicked rule the earth. But yeah, I'm just showing you that they changed words, and therefore when you read it, you would never know, because you don't have clues. You're not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not in your head until you get shown one time, and then now you start questioning everything else. You know, but yeah, in all righteousness we question stuff, okay? Not in doubt, like, hey man, I don't believe. No, you don't do that. You're gonna be called least in the kingdom. Well, you're not gonna make it. If you teach others to question it too, you're gonna be called least in the kingdom. But anyway, so yeah, so that's basically what they did here. They changed the words into badger's skin. That's not badger skin, it's this thing. Okay, so enough of this. So Esau, he came out red all over, just like a hairy garment. Why? Because we were painting garments red from different type of fruits and stuff like that. And for example, turmeric can make something very a yellow. You know, it's very. This thing is very irritating. I'll tell you that. You can't really work with it. You know, without making a mess. You're gonna make a mess, man, and I hate it. But I drink it often. I drink it very often, actually. But you shouldn't drink it for a long time, because you're going to see woozy. It's going to affect your eyes. It's going to relax the muscles in your eyes, and therefore you're going to see blurry if you drink it too long, for long periods of time. That's why you need to take breaks. And you also need to eat another fruit, which here. Camu has this amount of vitamin C, not Z. This is the fruit. Camu. So you have an apple, Fuji. I think it's Japanese apple. That's 2 point something. Here, watermelon has 6 point whatever vitamin C. Banana has 21. Orange has 53. Papaya has this. Kaju, I forgot what that was. It's another fruit. And then you have this thing over here. I don't know what it is. I can't read that good because the letter is kind of weird. So anyway, so Kagata, Kagata, I don't know. Mangaba, which is 420. Camu is like almost 2,000. Vitamin C per 100 milligram. Per 100 milligram. So 100 milligram of this, you get like this amount of what's it called? Vitamin C. And then you have another one that's I think stronger than Camu, which is let me see. Most powerful is fruit. This one is in the plump thing. This is it. Kakadu Plum. Kakadu Plum. This one, let me see, maybe here. So you have lime, you have orange, you have lemon, you have this. This is 4,000. So this one is 4,000, but the Camu is like 2,000. And the Camu is something from South America. You can get it. 50 times more vitamin C than oranges. But it's to be found in Australia only, that I know of. So I can't get it. But this one is easy. This is easy. The Camu is easy. You know, it's South America, it's the Europe. You can get it, you know, Camu. But I saw in America that they want to sell it to you for like ridiculous. I was like, what the fuck? They want to charge you that much? They're stealing from me, man. 2,000 milligrams per vitamins for 100 gram. And you only need a teaspoon of this per day. And you can never overdose on vitamin C. This man here, he had leukemia, blood cancer. Esau is the goddamn devil. Don't forget that, okay? He had blood cancer, right? And then what he did, they told him like, yo, you can get ready for death because you're going to die. And then he was like, fuck it. I'm going to try and find something. And he found it. He injected himself. No. He went to the hospital, of course. And they injected him with pure vitamin C. And whoop, leukemia was gone. Leukemia is blood cancer. You're going to die. Okay? Well, not if you find this. But then, of course, because you know that the devil, the race of Satan, you know that they pressure you for with herbs, so they will pressure you, boy, or they'll kill you. They will pressure you and tell you still need to use chemo. Yeah, whatever. You know he didn't do that shit. You know he was told to say it because, like I said, he was already told like you can get ready for death. And then he was panicking, man. He was afraid, man. He was like, oh man, I don't want to die. And then he started to change his food, started to eat only greens, and started to inject himself. Well, he got to the hospital, of course. Inject himself with pure vitamin C in, chemical form and stuff like that. So, if you then therefore eat it, what do you think is going to happen to you? Come on, man. You don't need the caucus and stuff like that. He maybe if he was to go and eat the fruit, he could have died, because you have to understand the fruit needs time, and the caucus, he can inject it. But yeah, he has potent stuff. He does have I'll give him that. But the fact that you got the cancer, that's his fucking fault in the fucking first place. Sorry for the cussing, because I'm angry at them. But that's his fault in the first place. He did it. Look at the food. Just look at the ingredients on the back of the thing. Man, you would be afraid to eat those things, man. Hey, I shouldn't be eating this. And then on top of that, you got the pesticide too. Pesticide is not for people. It's not for animals. It's for. Oh wait, I remember that I need to go back into the scripture. Sorry about that. But here, wait. Let me just finish this one. What is this? Sorry. that repel insects. Yeah. Here. He says that he sprays these fruits and vegetables with pesticides because these insects, they eat the fruit and the crops and stuff like that. He's a goddamn devil once more. I don't have to repeat that. You should already know. These are plants that repel insects. So what do you have to do? What plants? Yeah. Look, you have different type of plants. Let's say, for example, mosquitoes. I'm not sure, but I looked it up before, but I can't remember everything. You have certain. Let's say this one, right? Let's say this one is only for fruit flies. I'm just giving an example because it's for more. And then this one is for mosquitoes, and then this one is for ants, and then this one is for bees, and then this one is for I don't know, just a different type of, insects, slugs or something like that. Okay, so all Esau needs to do is take these plants, grind them up, mix them with water, and spray it. Done. It's done. You don't need these chemicals that could hurt you, boy. They could harm you, boy. Like, really make you suffer beyond your own imagination. But you don't know where the illness comes from. Oh, we don't know where it comes from. What? You don't know? But you're a doctor. Why don't you read the back of the ingredients and then Google dangers behind it? And then you will start to realize, like, I got this. I got these illnesses. Oh, this is what I'm eating. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you're getting it from. You're getting it from the food, man. Because a lot of people say stuff. A lot of Americans, they come, for example, to Europe and they say, Europe, especially in the Netherlands, is really built for walking and biking and stuff like that. You could really get around without actually car. With the public transportation is very good and stuff like that. But not just the Netherlands, Sweden, Switzerland, all these places, they have it. You know, a lot of places in Europe, I should say. West Europe, most of the time, West Europe, and East Europe too, but West Europe. Anyway, so now they come over here to the Europe and they say, oh yeah, the reason why Americans are fat is because everything they do with the car, and they have to with the car. Do you have no walking places? You can't go to the store without cars. And I looked at that, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. You can't go to the store, just walk. And I went there, and I actually wanted to go to the store, but I was younger. I wanted to go to the store, and he said, like, we need to take the train. I'm like, what? Why you need to take the train? Isn't there a store here in the neighborhood? No, it's very far. It's very far from them to go to stores and stuff like that. You know? It's just crazy. But it's also region thing. But anyway, my point is, the people that come here, they say Americans are fat because of the way that the infrastructure is made up there. I'm like, no. Because that same infrastructure, it was even worse back in the days. In the 80s, 90s, and stuff like that, 70s, 60s, and all that type of stuff, okay? It was never footwear friendly and bike friendly and stuff like that. I mean, bicycle, not a motorbike, like a bike with a motor, no. Or a scooter, not that. I'm talking about an actual bike where you need your legs to actually go forth. So, and the sidewalks in America also, they just... The sidewalks in America, they just end up dead. They're oh, sorry, sidewalks. There's not a lot of this is the sidewalk. That is that. There's not a lot of walking over there. You know, you need a car, and then they say that's the reason why people are fat. No, these people have been. This has been around for centuries over there. That's not the reason. The reason is the food. This has nothing to do with you being fat. It can, but that's not the real source, man. This is one of the after effects of it, that you don't walk a lot. You're always in the car. But the people in the 60s, here, the 70s beaches. Here, you have people in the 70s in their beaches and stuff like that. All of them here, that's a car country, man. Not, you don't see fat people. And then here, see what I'm saying? What happened? The streets are the same. As a matter of fact, the streets might have even gotten even a little bit better. You know, concerning the walkabilities and stuff like that. It might have gotten a little bit better. So back in the 70s, it was even worse concerning walking from here and to there. I think in America, the kids don't even walk to school. Yeah, they got the school bus, man. They got the school. The kids don't walk to school. I never had that dumb shit. I just walked to school. But anyway, that is not the thing. The thing that changed is the food. It's the food. That's the danger. There the danger is. There's the danger. In the food, man. You know? It's in the food. They're lying to you. The people that say that, coming from America, that say that it's about the infrastructure, there's no place to walk, and therefore people get fat. No, it isn't. It's what I just showed you what it is. It's the food. Anyway, so this one is very easy to get. Let me see. And yeah, here is cheap, but in America, it's cheap. I think okay, $10 and then $18, 40% off. 40% off. So does that mean that it's more expensive? Okay. It looks like it, but yeah, it is expensive. You know, this thing, it's kind of expensive, but you get a lot. No, well, not a lot. It depends, man, on where you buy it. And you need to buy it in powder. Don't buy I would rather for you to buy it in powder. If you're gonna do it, buy it in powder. Or you get the fruit, but then it needs to be dried because it comes from South America. So, and it's not that fun to eat. It's actually very sour, but people make stuff with it, so it's good. Anyway, so enough of this. So sorry about all that, the sidetracking. But the one that is more powerful than the Camu is this one. But you can look it up for yourself to see what type of power that it has and stuff like that. This is 4,000, and the Camu is 2,000. This is the kiwi. This is this thing over here, which is acerola cherry. This thing is good too. This thing, and you have the acai also, acai berries. This one. This comes from a palm tree, by the way. This is good too. It's very potent and very powerful. Also for your blood. But anyway, sorry about all that. Let me go back to what I'm supposed to be. But the badger skin, they changed it. So now let me finish this up, right? So, oh yeah, concerning the hairy man, because you might be like, hey, I'm making stuff up and I'm adding things to the scriptures and all that type of stuff. Well, sorry, not this one, sorry. Here, okay, it says that he is a hairy man, right? So 2 Kings chapter 1 verse 8. Then I'll go here. 2 Kings chapter 1 verse 8. They replied, he had a garment of hair and a leather belt around his waist. The king said, what? That was Elijah. Because he know him. Oh boy, they know him. They know, like, oh shit, that was Elijah. Definitely. Why? Because the prophets had rough garments on and everybody knew them. So therefore, when the false prophets wanted to trick people, they would also have the rough garments on. And then now they changed the rough garments to be like people in the mansion, fancy houses, because they look like they soft. They look like, you know, a bunch of vagabonds, you know, all shaven, you know, that type of stuff, you know, beard shaven and stuff like that, looking like a little boy. And you know what they do with little boys, right? You know what they do with them little boy, right? Yeah, that's what they do. Right. Because if you read up on the Greek army, Roman army, what did they used to tell the boy if they liked them and they don't want them to get fucked? They used to tell them, hey, don't put, whatever you do, don't put perfume and don't shave your beard. Because the older men are going to do stuff to you and you don't want that. You know, if they like them. Sometimes you might see a Jacob descendant and stuff like that. You know, you treat him like your little brother, your little son, your little nephew, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't want stuff to happen to him, so you're looking out for him. You know, you see him running around with them little doofus heads, and you be thinking to yourself like, let me give him a little bit of game, to teach him something, a little bit of game, whatever. You know, a little bit of heads up and stuff like that, because you don't want him to get messed up. You look at him and be like, yeah, man, I like this little motherfucker, man. You know, so hey, you teach him stuff. And then, of course, the caucus has that amongst themselves too, and they know how the older caucus do, so they would teach him and stuff like that, you know. And that's also in that that article that I read, that they used to do that, and they do that until this day. I have shown you many links and articles to show you that is what they do. Here, let me just show you one.